Do you think women are more depressed than men?
No, I don't think, because actually in life we both are depressed due to some situations.
महिला।
हाँ,
हाँ,
ऐसे आपको क्यों लगता है?
इससे इसलिए लगता है क्योंकि घर का सब सामान जितना मैनेज वही करती है।
हम्म,
लेडीज़ जाते हैं, हम लोग तो पुरुष हैं, कहीं पर जाते ऑफिस में जाके बैठ जाते चेयर पे,
हम्म,
और वो महिला है कि घर का बच्चे को देखना, फैमिली को देखना, सास हो गया, जिसका बाद आपका जो होता है फादर हो गया, उनको देखना। कुछ कुछ बातें होती हैं मिलती नहीं एक दूसरे के, वो कुछ मैनेज करना पड़ता है उनको।
মেবি কিছুটা তো আছে।
কি কারণে হতে পারে ওটা?
ওমেনরা অনেক সেন্সিটিভ হয়, যেহেতু ওদের চিন্তাভাবনাটা মেনদের থেকে অনেকটা আলাদা হয়, এই ক্ষেত্রে কিছুটা তো ডিপ্রেস বেশি থাকেই।
Women and mental health. Globally, about 41.9% of neuropsychiatric disabilities in women are caused by depressive disorders, compared to 29.3% among men. As of 2017, about 14.4% of all adult women in India are reported to be suffering from mental disorders, as mentioned in the Indian Journal of Psychiatry 2015. Gender has come under the purview of scientific inquiry for more than a century. The similarities as well as the differences between women and men have been discussed and debated. Questions about logical capability, physical endurance, emotional capacity have always been looked at when thinking about genders. In the book Psychology of Gender, Vicky S. Helgeson raises some pertinent questions with regards to mental health. Are women more depressed than men?
Of course, the studies across the world clearly reported that women have a prevalence rate of depression up to twice that of men.
Are men less willing than women to seek help for health problems?
Men in our country, the kind of socio-cultural understanding that we are having, men are not supposed to seek help for their emotional problem. That is in the upbringing, because since the early childhood it is being taught to the men that you are not supposed to display, supposed to show your emotion. You are supposed to be a strong person. See, in that terms, the female are accepted as a help seeker for their emotional discomfort, emotional problem, or mental health issues.
Helgeson puts forth the following points about gender disparity. The pronoun he still continues to be used for both men and women in scientific writing, in spite of a proclamation by the American Psychological Association in 1983, which states that scientists must refrain from using sexist language in their writing. Many research studies show that biological differences between male and female persons, as well as the gender differences that have been socially dictated in matters of roles, responsibilities, status, and positions of power, contribute to the differences in the nature of mental health problems suffered, health-seeking behavior of those who are affected, and the response of the health sector and the society as a whole. Repeated exposure of women from lower income families to life events such as illness and death of children or husbands, imprisonment, job insecurity, dangerous neighborhoods, and hazardous workplaces has been known to put them at a significantly higher risk of depression than men. The findings on gender and mental health by the World Health Organization in 2002 are as follows. Hormonal changes during pregnancies and menstrual cycle can lead to inconsistencies in mood and pose higher risk of depression and anxiety for women. A study from India on schizophrenic patients found that married women who suffered from the illness were more likely to be abandoned or divorced by their husbands and experienced physical abuse by their husbands prior to separation. Socially constructed gender roles make women the primary caregivers in many settings, while giving them less social support to perform this function, leading to low morale and high stress levels. A variety of reasons, including hormonal changes over life, pregnancy, socioeconomic conditions, gender discrimination, physical assault, and violence and trauma, could result in different kinds of mental illnesses.
2015-তে আমার সাথে একটা বড় ইনসিডেন্ট হয়েছিল যখন আমি ট্রাফিকড হয়ে যাই। তো ওখানে যাওয়ার পর প্রচণ্ড পরিমাণে আমাকে ট্রমা সইতে হয়েছে, অনেক ধরনের আমাকে টর্চার করা হয়েছে, যাতে আমি যৌন কাজের সাথে যুক্ত হই। তার জন্য আমার উপর অনেক প্রেশারাইজ করা হয়েছে যে আমি যাতে করি কাজটা, কিন্তু আমি তখন করতে চাইনি, কারণ তখন আমার বয়সটা মাত্র 13-14 বছর ছিল।
যদি কোনো বাচ্চারা 12-13 বছরের বাচ্চা, 14 বছরের বাচ্চা, যদি ওনার সাথে এইভাবে ওনার যদি ট্রাফিক করা যায় বা ওনার জন্যে ওনাকে ফোর্স করে প্রেশারাইজ করে এই কাজে যদি ইনভলভ করা যায়, তো এইভাবে বাচ্চাদের ওনার যা মানসিক স্থিতির উপরে কি আঘাতটা হতে পারে?
12-13 বছরের ছোট বাচ্চা, ছেলে হোক বা মেয়ে হোক, তাদের মানসিক স্থিতিটা তখন প্রচণ্ডই তখন তারা অতটা ম্যাচিওরড হয় না। তো তাদের মনে তখন এইটা থাকে, এই এখন খেলতে যাব, এই বন্ধুদের সাথে গল্প করব, এই একটু পড়াশোনা না করলেও কোনো ব্যাপার না, মা কিছু বলবে না। তখন বাচ্চাদের মনস্থিতিটা এইরকম থাকে, কিন্তু যেই মুহূর্তে তারা ট্রাফিকড হয়ে যাচ্ছে বা তাদের জোরজবস্তি এই ধরনের কাজে ইনভলভ করা হচ্ছে, তখন বাচ্চাদের মানসিক স্থিতিটা না চট করে ঘুরে যাচ্ছে, বলে না ফ্যান্টাসি ওয়ার্ল্ড। তখন 12-13 বছরের বাচ্চাদের মনে ওই ফ্যান্টাসি ওয়ার্ল্ডটা থাকে, আর যখন তাদের সাথে এই ধরনের ঘটনাটা হয়, তখন তাদের সেই ফ্যান্টাসি ওয়ার্ল্ডটা যেন কেমন ধরো হারিয়ে যায়। তাদের যে বাচ্চাদের যে একটা মনে একটা বাচ্চা যে ইয়েটা, ওইটা যেন কোথায় যেন একটা হারিয়ে যায়, কোথায় যেন একটা কি বলবো, আমি ওয়ার্ড খুঁজে পাচ্ছি না বলার। বাচ্চাদের সেই রকমের মনস্থিতিটা না প্রচন্ড পরিমাণে তার ভয় পেয়ে যায় যে এটা হঠাৎ করে আমার সাথে কি হয়ে গেল, এখন আমি কি করব, এখন আমার কি হবে, আমার মা কোথায়, আমার বাবা কোথায়, আমি কি করে বাড়ি যাব। তারা রীতিমতন ভয় পেয়ে যায়, ঘাবড়ে যায়, তারা নিজের মনস্থিতিটা স্থির করতে পারে না। সেই ভয়তে সেই ইয়েতে তারা একটা ভুল ডিসিশন নিয়ে ফেলে যে না, আর হয়তো বাড়ি যেতে পারবো না। হয়তো তারা সেই টাইমটায় ভেবেই নেয় যে না, যদি এইভাবে জীবনটা শেষ হওয়ার থেকে আমি নিজেই কেন না সুসাইড করব, এইভাবে নিজের লাইফটাকে নষ্ট করে তো লাভ নেই, এর থেকে বেটার আমি সুসাইড করে নিই। তাদের মনস্থিতিটা এইরকম হয়ে যায়, যেটা এক টাইমে আমারও হয়েছিল।
Sex differences and the effect on women in terms of mental illnesses. Women's physiological makeup plays an extensive role in what kind of psychological disorder affects them and how much it impacts them. Hormonal changes and imbalances not only harm a woman's physical health but affect her mentally for the long run.
Again, the medical literature clearly indicates common mental disorders like depression, anxiety, somatic symptoms, and psychological distress are 2 to 3 times more common in women than in men. There are many reasons for this. The first and the foremost is biological reason, hormonal reason, and also reproductive health, and other gender-specific risk factors such as gender-based violence, socioeconomic disadvantage, and also low income or income inequality or low or subordinate social status in the man's world play important role in this having more prevalence of mental disorders in women. All these factors not only affect physical health but also the mental health.
According to an article in the Journal of Psychiatry and Neuroscience, the reproductive hormones in females, estrogen and progesterone, have long been known to affect mood and behavior. There is a potential window for mental illnesses during times of hormonal instability, such as during menstruation, pregnancy, menopause, and so on. It has been proven that the postpartum period or the period after childbirth can worsen psychiatric symptoms in women who are facing a pre-existing mental illness. Women face a number of disorders at a higher rate than men do. Let us explore this further.
women are particularly vulnerable to mental health problems. And in our country, we see that young women between the ages of 15 to 20 have the highest rates of suicide in the whole country. And also the number one cause of mortality and death in women in this age group is because of suicide, often because of mental health problems.
In women, bipolar disorder usually has a late age of onset, and women suffer from a higher degree of mixed episodes of mania and depression than men do. Women also face comorbid diseases of thyroid, diabetes, migraines, and obesity. The postpartum period is especially a high-risk period for symptoms of bipolar disorder. According to studies, bipolar disorder usually begins with depression, especially in women. Onset with a depressive episode is seen to be over 75% in women as compared to 67% in men.
Atypical depression, you can say, like seasonal affective disorder, the depression due to specific seasonal changes. These are more common in the females. Postpartum blues, like that after delivery of a child, if the pregnancy period the female is not in a good mental status, these after delivery of the birth, that mother goes into depression. These are more prevalent definitely in the females. Perimenopausal age group, that is midlife crisis, that is typically occurs in the females.
Thus, many women suffering from bipolar disorder are usually misdiagnosed as having unipolar depression. Are adolescent girls more prone to depression? What are the possible reasons for this?
We know that adolescent girls have higher rates of depression, and many of these are related to socio-cultural reasons like patriarchy, gender discrimination, as well as gender disadvantage. And I think this is something which is very important to address if we want to address the mental health of women in general.
On an average, women experience more internalizing behavioral disorders such as depression, anxiety, or withdrawal due to low self-esteem, keeping problems to themselves or internalizing them. As per research, women are almost twice as likely to develop depression as compared to men due to inwardly directed thoughts and greater impact of reproductive hormones on the brain. Multiple studies show that women who face depression are more likely to have comorbid anxiety disorders, including panic disorder, phobias, and obsessive compulsive disorder. According to research, lifetime prevalence of depression is about 10 to 25% for women, while it is merely 5 to 12% for men.
Lifetime prevalence means throughout the life how much there is a possibility they are going to suffer from a depressive disorders. And as we discussed, because of their biological vulnerability, because of environmental vulnerability, because of the lot of life events and stress they have to face, the lifetime prevalence is going to be higher than the male population in them.
Furthermore, a study by The Lancet shows that suicide deaths due to mental illnesses rank first among all causes of death in women who are aged 15 to 39 years old in most states of India. In 2016, India held about 17.8% of the world's population, but accounted for 36.6% of global suicides among women and about 24.3% among men. Not only this, but married women account for the highest number of suicide deaths among women in India. The major reasons for this are arranged marriage at an early age, motherhood at a young age, lower social status especially in rural areas, economic dependence upon the husband and his family, domestic violence and marital rape, social stressors and their effects on the mental health of women.
Sir, you are working in this hospital for a long time or in this sector for a long time. Do you think women's mental health issues are more severe and complex than men?
Actually, it's not a case of severity, it's a case that mental status of the female is taken in different way in our society than men. Because female has to undergo a lot of stress related factors are there because they are not in most of the cases they are not the earning member of the society. So once they get mentally deranged, nobody cares for her for her treatment. In most of the cases, nobody cares for her mental status treatment. They used to dump the patient. In most of the cases, if the caretaker is the husband, then husband would like to dump the patient or abandon the patient in any hospital setup like us, and they will try to make arrange for a next marriage. And this is in most of the cases what happens. But in very few cases, the people they used to take the female patient out of these four walls.
Apart from physiology, environmental stressors play a very important role in how women deal with mental health issues.
So there is increasing evidence to show a positive correlation between lower socioeconomic status and negative mental health outcomes for women. There is also statistics to show that poverty increases people's vulnerabilities to sexual exploitation, and that people with the lowest socioeconomic status are at greater risk for violence.
Environment is having a lots of impact on our psychological construct, and if you see the current socio-political cultural environment of our state, even India, most of the adversities women have to face, be it most of the household responsibilities, be it most of the violence, the domestic violence they have to suffer, even workplace violence they have to suffer. So these environmental impact can have some effect on their mental health.
Gender role refers to the expectations that go along with being male versus female. The features of the male gender role are expectations to be strong, competitive, and emotionally distant or repressed, while the features of the female gender role are the expectations to be polite, caring, and emotionally expressive. In other words, we expect men to be masculine and we expect women to be feminine.
And do you think if there is a reversal of role, like men are giving more time at home, including looking after children, like the way women give now, and actually taking the responsibilities of women, and women are going out and doing work and whatever they want to do. Is that acceptable to you?
No, actually both should do their duties. Means if one is doing his duty, so another gender duties is neglected, na?
अगर हस्बैंड और वाइफ दोनों से सहमति है तो कर सकते हैं, मैं तो नहीं कर सकते। ऐसे तो ज़्यादातर देखिए तो घर पे तो जेंट्स रहते नहीं हैं। जैसे हम लोग के देख लीजिए, घर पे कितने वक्त गुजारेंगे, हम ज़्यादातर वक्त दोस्तों के बीच बाहर जाकर गुजारते हैं। घर पे कुछ मानसिकता प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है
না, কখনোই হবে না।
কেন?
এটা কোনোদিনই কোনো মেলের ইগোতে লাগবে, সে কোনোদিন এটা মেনে নিতে পারবে না যে আমার ওয়াইফ বাইরে গিয়ে কাজ করছে আর আমি ঘর সামলাচ্ছি। যেটা বরাবরই হয়ে এসছে যে মেয়েরা ঘর সামলাবে, ছেলেরা বাইরে সামলাবে, কিন্তু এখন অনেক চেঞ্জ হয়েছে, সেটা দুজনেই আজকাল বাইরে কাজ করছে, মেয়েরাও অনেক বেশি ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট হয়েছে, যেটা আগে ছিল না। কিন্তু যদি এই রকম সিচুয়েশন আসে যে ছেলেদের বাড়িতে কাজ করতে হবে আর মেয়েরা গিয়ে বাইরে কাজ করবে, সেটা হয়তো ছেলেদের পক্ষে মেনে নেওয়া সম্ভব না।
Both genders can do whatever they want to do.
Children develop certain gender roles by observing and copying things in their surroundings.
Ma'am, how children develop certain gender roles by observing and copying things in their surrounding?
Children practically from birth onwards, they're dressed in certain colors, they're given certain toys, they can only play certain games and not others. Yes, you're a boy, you do this, you're a girl, you have to do that. So that it gets to a point where girl is non-boy, boy is non-girl, as if they had nothing in common with the kind of dividing wall.
Boys are taught to be assertive and to control their expression of feelings, whereas girls are taught to express concern for others and to control their assertiveness. Aggression is a behavior that is more likely to be reinforced in males than females by parents, teachers, and peers. Parents are prime candidates for contributing to gender role socialization. Let us see how.
Is it true that parents are prime candidates in contributing gender role socialization in children?
Definitely. As a play therapist, I observed that the girls, has chosen some plaything, toys according to their parents' standards. Like the boys should play with the girls, and the girls should play with not the balls, not with the bat. They should always things like cooking utensils and toys like which should be used in the household like this, and the dolls.
Are children understanding gender roles and gender expectations by observing their parents?
The children, from my therapy experience, the children from Kolkata or all around, they are learning from their learning the gender issues from their childhood only, because actually what they have learned first from their parents, siblings, the roles of the parents, mother's role, father's role. So all of those issues are different. This is the roles, duties of my mother. These are the duties of my father. So this is the unwritten rules from where they are learning how to do, what to do as a boy, as a girl, and the girl shouldn't, scream, the girl shouldn't express anger. On the opposite side, the boy shouldn't express his emotion like sadness, and he shouldn't cry. This is very, from my observation, this is very detrimental for a boy especially, because the rate of heart attack is increased, because they are learning that they cannot express their emotion, they are crying, they cannot cry, they shouldn't express their emotion like this. So, and the roles of the girls, from the very beginning, from their childhood, the parents usually teach the girls that you have to become a good daughter-in-law, you have to become a very good girl, so you should do this, you shouldn't do this. Actually, they are prepared for their in-laws' house.
According to Helgeson, books that children read may also encourage gender role appropriate behavior. Classic fairy tales such as Cinderella or Sleeping Beauty reinforce the mentality that good women are obedient, vulnerable, beautiful, and that men must rescue women from situations. This takes away the autonomy from the girl child and teaches boys that girls are weak and need constant protection or supervision. One can associate the feeling of a lack of autonomy over one's life with depression. Gender norms and expectations that have been socially dictated for centuries place women far more frequently than men in situations where they have little to no control over important decisions concerning their own lives. Caste-based oppression and mental health. As explained by Prachi Patel in the book The Shudras, the labor of Shudra women contributes not just to the domestic and caste economy, but it is also significant in maintaining the economy of the whole society. The domestic economy and caste economy rely on multiple exploitations of the Shudra woman. Though the author has not touched on the mental health aspect of Shudra women, the multi-layered exploitation of labor certainly has a long-lasting impact on their mental health. The severity of mental health disorders may be more prevalent in the underprivileged classes than the upper caste, since the exploitation of labor is also much higher. Crime against women. Some mental illnesses resulting from gender-based violence are depression, anxiety, and stress-related syndromes, substance abuse, and suicide attempts. As per the NCRB report of 2019, a total of 4,05,861 cases of crime against women were registered during 2019, showing an increase of 7.3% over 2018. 3,78,236 cases. The major cases reported as crimes against women were cruelty by husband or his relatives, 30.9%, assault on woman with intent to outrage her modesty, 21.8%, kidnapping and abduction of women, 17.9%, sexual assault, 7.9%. According to the World Health Organization, 1997, it was found that armed conflict brings its own distinct forms of violence against women. This include random acts of sexual assault or mass sexual assault as a deliberate strategy of genocide. The wounds received from these riot-like situations become a source of lifelong trauma for the affected woman. As of July 2014, the UN Committee on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women made the following observations on violence against women based on India's last reports. Stark increase in violent crimes against women, especially rape and abduction, exemption from punishment in case of marital rape, escalation of caste-based violence, high number of dowry-related deaths since 2008, persistence of so-called honor crimes, increasing number of acid attacks against women since 2002. As per the official website of UN Women, no further data is available, and India's overall development as targeted under the Sustainable Development Goals is thus not at a good rank. So what is your comment on gender data?
When we were doing research for this particular documentary, we found that 62.8% data is missing. That means we have not presented our report card to United Nations with regards to women. Now, which were the points missing in this data? Points such as gender discrimination, violence against women, etc. So that means we are not fulfilling our international obligation. Can we conclude that? Are we achieving or are we working towards achieving standards set for Sustainable Development Goals with regards to women?
Are we fulfilling the constitutional obligation towards gender equality?
Indian Constitution gives equal rights to women. With regards to women, Constitution also empowers states to adopt positive discrimination. Considering the status of women which is presented in various domestic as well as international reports, in my view, Government of India or as a state, we need to do much more.
The way ahead. It is important to understand the gender gap index of our country since it has a direct correlation to mental health issues. Gender Gap Index 2020. Health and survival. India ranks 150. Millions of women are not yet granted the same access to health as men. In India, 66% of women are literate compared to 82% of men. Women make up only 14.4% of the parliament. World Health Organization has suggested some measures to address mental health issues with regards to gender discrimination. Understanding of gender issues in mental health policies, a public health approach for primary prevention and addressing gender-specific risk factors, addressing gender discrimination, violence and stereotyping through legislative policies and programs, ensuring primary and maternal health care services that are sensitive to gender differences, and provide cost-effective mental health facilities. Psychosocial counseling and support to cope better with difficult life situations and not just prescription of drugs. Provision of community-based care for chronic mental disorders. Examining how gender differences influence women's and men's risk and vulnerability. We at West Bengal Forum for Mental Health pledge to work towards mobilizing, organizing and working towards achieving the mental health rights of women. Forming community-based women's groups to create a platform to promote health-seeking behavior. Forming women cooperatives for generation of income at the community level. Awareness campaigns to promote psychosocial education focusing on women. Gender role myth-busting campaigns at the primary and secondary school level. Forming a network of community-based mental health workers to assist affected women for various required assistance. Legal cell at block and district levels to provide legal assistance to women in cases related to mental health services as well as domestic violence and property rights. Public awareness through video awareness campaigns on social media, community radio, poster and wall painting campaigns. Strengthening the district mental health program. Ensuring implementation of the Mental Health Care Act 2017 in letter and spirit.